There's no question social media like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn have changed the face of doing business. An upcoming conference by the Eau Claire Area Chamber of Commerce is geared to help people reach out to customers using social media. The Fall Social Media Conference is next Wednesday, September 29th at the Florian Gardens in Eau Claire. It runs from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. A number of breakout sessions are available. Everything from to tweet or not to tweet to Facebook for business use. And joining us now with more is one of the presenters at the conference, Laurie Betcher of Laurie Betcher Speaks. She gives presentations on social media throughout the state. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. So how did you ever get involved in this whole social media realm?
Actually, well, I've been involved in it for about 5 years now, and working for the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, we had to get very unique about how we communicate road construction and transportation projects with the various communities that we served. So that kind of encouraged me to explore different avenues. It's been a gradual process, and I love it so much that I've just mainly focused on speaking.
Right, so you speak around the state and give presentations and speak at conferences like this,
yeah,
and just tell people or explain to people what this is all about and how it can help their business.
Exactly. Anything from organizations to nonprofit organizations, businesses, in-house training sessions, just teaching people how to use it best as a tool for their particular business.
Right, and it is pretty much, I would imagine, most businesses are using this now in some form. I mean, a few years ago, maybe they're just like, I'm not so sure. It seems to be here to stay.
Yes.
So that's something they can all kind of count on?
Yes, definitely. And I really think that a lot of it reminds me of when email first came out. We all didn't know really how to respond to email. Are we going to use this? Is this here for the long run? And now, as we all know, email has become such a pivotal part of our communication process. So social media is really coming to that as well.
Sure. So how do most businesses think of this mode of communicating? I mean, do they think it's more of a fad? Are some of them still resisting it, or are some of them embracing it, but kind of, I guess, how are they using it?
You really see the gamut, because there are businesses that are still being cautious and want to know more before they jump in. And there are other businesses that have jumped in and are doing a great job with it and really navigating the way for the community. So you see the gamut of experience even here in the Chippewa Valley.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that they're most afraid of, or some of the challenges to using this type of media?
I think with mainly being, how do we use it? How do we be social? Because it's a completely different culture in how we communicate face-to-face and how you communicate online. Completely different. Also, they're concerned about the legal aspects, because if you do not have a proper social media policy in place, it could harm you in the long run. So I think that those are things that businesses are really fearful of right now.
Sure. And I guess take us through some of the more popular sites. We're talking about Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn are three of probably the most popular ones?
Right. Those are considered the big three right now, although there is something new coming out. Well, it's not so new anymore, but it's called location-based networking, and you hear of Foursquare and Gowalla. Those are the two leaders right now, and that's basically you're tweeting saying that you are at different places, and Starbucks has been amazing at using that tool, because if I go to Starbucks often and check in that I am now at Starbucks, then I may get a badge saying that I visit Starbucks. And if I am the person who visits it most, then I become the mayor of Starbucks. Oh. And because Starbucks embraces their social media users, they feature oftentimes in their store, this is the mayor of Starbucks this week, and their favorite coffee is. Mm-hmm. So they do some unique things with it.
Do you think if people are saying, I don't want to do this, I mean, I don't see the point of this, and I don't know what to tweet, or those types of questions. Do you think they're missing out? Do you think they really need to get on board with this type of thing, especially businesses? What
I'm admiring most is the people who come to the information workshops that, like Social Media 101, they've heard about Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, the big three, and they just want to know more. Do I really want to be on that? And I admire that quality so much, because they haven't just jumped in and said, yes, I'm going to do this, and not knowing how to. So maybe Foursquare or Gowalla aren't for you. I know they're not for me. They're not something that I use. However, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, I use all three of those. Some people only use one. It's just what fits your lifestyle and what fits your needs.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the, I guess, common mistakes businesses, maybe employees, can make when using social media?
Employees, the biggest mistake that we tend to see is really not being aware of where their privacy settings are at. What are you showing people? And is this a proper professional representation of you? And could this harm your employer? We need to be knowledgeable about that, especially as job seekers. So that's a big deal. As far as employers go, not having a proper social media policy in place is a big one, and also creating those accounts but then not doing anything with them. So they have an account out there and it's not active. If you're going to be on social media, it's really important to plan how you're going to be consistent in using it, who's going to be responsible for those updates, how often. There's a lot of things that goes into planning.
All right. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the conference and what's going to happen next week, and we'll be back after this. Stay with us.